All right, welcome everyone. This is Sarabjit. You are here watching either on my Facebook group or my YouTube channel, Business Analyst and Scrum Master in Demand. And as I said, very shortly, we're going to be adding project management as well. The topic of this session today, and again, this is a live session in our Facebook group. So if you're not already here, I'll put a link into the description area for you to join. So the topic for today is how to create professional looking presentations. Lots of you guys ask me all the time, we are in business analyst roles or we're in Scrum Master roles and we have the need to create professional looking documents. So I've done a few series. Last 3 weeks we spent on formatting Word documents. Lots of you guys need to do various type of documentation, whether they be project charters, requirements, or any other technical write-ups that you may need to do for work. So there were 3 sessions actually dedicated on how to format Word documents to make sure they look professional enough. Last week or the week before that, I covered how to create professional looking Excel documents. So you may need to send data over. And lots of times, especially when I work with people, I get documents that are not printable. And you guys, in a professional setting, you always want to send something to someone or your managers or peers that is printable format. So we talked about Excel 2 weeks ago, and today we're going to be talking about presentations, how to have professional looking presentations. After this, I do have a running list of comments or things or training topics that you want. So we do keep that. And, I try to do live training every Sunday in this group. So we'll look at that list and I'll plan out next topics that I'll be covering in this group here. Again, if you have any topics you'd like me to cover, put them in the comments. We do look at them and we do plan training around the areas that you want to specifically learn about and talk about. So with that said, let's get started. I'm going to start to share my screen and I'm going to show you how you can be creating professional looking documents. Now, again, this training is only, the series that we're working on here is from a formatting standpoint only. I do have a training topic that somebody's requested. They want to learn how to run effective meetings, right? So maybe that'll be something that we cover next week. But again, any topics that you'd like me to cover, put them in the comments and I will make sure to get to them as time allows. So with that, let me share my screen. We'll go through and talk about how you guys, if you're creating presentations for your teams, to present or to gather a bunch of information and send to your user group. Sometimes you may not even be presenting, but you're gathering information to send to your leadership or to your peers. That may be a collection of information, right? So this is, again, my effort in helping you do well at work, right? I wish somebody had taught me some of these things when I was, very new in my career. And so that's what I'm doing for you guys here. My goal is to help and guide you and help you do better in your job. So with that said, let me share my screen. So what I've done is this is a template. I will link a template for you guys at the end of this session. So that way you guys have something to work with and play around. Most likely it'll be a Google Doc or Google Slides, which you can download and use for your needs. The first thing I want to do is anytime that you guys are creating presentations, your companies have a template, right? They have a template for everything most of the time, right? So templates for slides may include, their company colors and logos and such. So that anytime you're trying to put together slides, the first thing that you should ask them is, hey, do we have a company template that I can use to create the slides? And what that will do is it will help eliminate a lot of the formatting things that you may run into, right? So if there is a template already, they'll have the design and style that they like to see their presentations in. And a lot of companies do like to see their slides in a particular format. So first, always ask for a company template, which will give you the colors, designs, and such, so you don't have to worry about creating them from scratch. Now, if they don't have a template, lots of companies don't really have, bigger companies will have templates, smaller companies may not. So what then I recommend that you guys do is try to look at their website and look at some of their documentation and pick the colors that you see most often. So go to their site and look at, what kind of colors they're using on their site. Then I would recommend that you use the same colors in your slides, right? Because, companies or managers generally like to stay in that color zone. So, try to find what colors are on their site and use those when you're creating your PowerPoint presentations. So generally, when you are creating your PowerPoint presentations, right, I'll talk about design and formatting a little bit later on the presentation here, but generally when you're creating your slides, your first slide should be the title slide, right? The second slide should be about goals and objectives for either you putting this together, or if you're preparing this for a meeting, what are the goals and objectives of that meeting? You should give people hot bullet points. What I see a lot is a lot of people put a lot of content on your slides where it's too busy. Your slides should not be busy. They should be very concise and about the talking points that you're going to be talking about in the meeting, or the general idea that you want to convey throughout this presentation that you're putting together. So generally you should have 1 to 2, objectives. So objective number 1, objective number 2, objective number 3, right? And so on. I'll make my screen a little bit bigger so it's easier for you to see. And then after that, you should always have an agenda for the meeting. What are we here together? It could be review requirements, gather input from stakeholders. It could also be decisions requiring approval, and then next steps, right? So here it's very clear what we're doing in the meeting, and that's something that should be stated in the beginning of your presentation so everybody is clear. Generally, what I would love for you guys to do is anytime you're having a meeting and have slides, you should send the slides out 24 hours ahead of time, 24 to 48 hours. So you're giving people an opportunity to review the slides and come to the meetings prepared, right? That's the general rule of thumb. You should be sharing your agenda. You should be sharing your supporting documentation 24 to 48 hours ahead of the meeting. So that's the rule of thumb. So as I said, clear and concise. You see that there's nothing busy on my screen here. And that's generally how you should have your slides. You should only have talking points on what it is that you're going to cover, and not, detailed stuff about what things we're going to be reviewing, right? The next slide should be topic number 1, right? Again, list bullet points. Do not read from your slides, you guys, right? Do not put too much information on the slide. You want bulleted talking points. So when you are in the meeting, or when you are talking about this stuff, you have general talking points and then can talk about those topics, wait for input, and etc. Again, here, topic number 2, same thing, list bullet points. Do not read from your slides, you guys. It doesn't make you look professional enough if you're doing that. So make sure you have prepared for the meetings ahead of time. Topic number 3, again, same scenario. Topic number 4, same thing. Conclusion talking points. You should always have a slide that talks about summing up things, right? What is the end result of us having this meeting? What are the takeaways, right? And again, this slide should summarize what you want your audience to walk away with, either action items or what they need to work on. What are the recommendations? What is the data and information you want them to walk away with, right? So this is generally what your conclusion slides should look like. And then I'm going to show you some smart art, and then you should always have a slide for questions, right? So this is generally the format of what your slides should look like when you are creating PowerPoint presentations. Now, on the formatting side, right, there are ways that you can make your slides look a little bit beautiful, right? So generally what I do, and again, everything that I share and all the training that I do is based on my experience and my feedback and what I've done in my career. So take it or leave it. There's millions of ways of doing all of these things. I just teach you what I found success in. So again, this is my experience and this is what I do day to day if I'm asked to put together slides, right? So if there is not a company template that I can use, then I just, again, look at the company colors and use those. And then I go into this. So in PowerPoint, you will have file, home, insert, draw, design, transitions, animation, slideshow, record, review, view, and help. Where I spend majority of my time when I'm creating slides is in this design tab. And as you will see, you will have lots of themes that you can go through and change the theme of your slides. And as I go through these items, it will, if I select this, it will then make all of my slides, remaining slides in that template, right? So you can go through and change the way that your slides look. And make sure that you have a consistent, because consistent slides throughout your presentation, it will, change the entire formatting. Sorry, guys, bad allergies as allergy season. So excuse me for my appearance and then the way I sound. Okay, so here's what, one template may look like. Here's another one. Here's another one, right? Generally, if there is no template, I would love for you guys to use something like this. This is simple, it's elegant, and it's not too loud, right? You don't want to pick a design that's too loud for your audience, where they're not going to focus on the content or the message of the presentation. If you pick, loud colors and loud templates, you may have a deviation. But again, like I said, this is my personal preference. This is the person I am, very professional look and feel for my slides, but that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be you, right? So again, there are a couple of templates you can pick from. If you click down on the down arrow, there's, a few more templates you can select. And then I'm going to show you how you can change the design of these as well. So let's say we decide to go with this one, right? And then you can also have variants or variations on the color scheme. So let's say if you want to have different colors based on your company design, you can click on colors here and you can see how, going through each of these items, it will change the format of your slides based on the color variation that you decide to go with. Right, so you see how the colors are changing, the design is changing. Let's say we want to stick with this one, right? Now you can see that general template in all of the slides. The only thing that you may have to do is, as you're changing your design templates, you may need to move your titles around just so they look nice. Okay, that's the only thing that you would have to do when you're playing around with design. Here's another one. You can pick this, the title page could look like this, and then a consistent colors here. And again, you can have different variations of colors by going through the different color schemes that are available to you. Okay. All right. If you have questions, let me put them in the comments. Let me see. So the question is, will I be able to download this from Facebook? I will post this video on YouTube for you guys to watch. YouTube videos are a little bit more accessible than Facebook. So yes, the short answer is yes. All right. So here's another topic, another color scheme. Again, I don't like to have my slides in this. It just, for the office setting, it just may not look as professional, but it really is based on what you would like and how you would like your slides to look. So just from a formatting standpoint, this is generally what I would stick with. Let me go and change my colors. Right here. Okay, let's say if I want, let's say I just want to stick with this one. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you guys, sometimes it becomes important that you want to number your slides, right? So you can do that in the insert panel, click on insert, and then you have a button called slide numbers, slide number. And if you click on that, right, this pop-up will come up. And generally, we don't want numbers to show up on our title page. So you're going to click on this to make sure that the slide number doesn't appear on the title page. And then you can click on apply to all. And generally, that should get the number to show. Slide number right here, and then hit apply. Okay, so you see at the bottom now, there is a slide number to all the slides that we have, right? Another thing that some people struggle with doing is adding a footer. So the way that you do that is here. You can go into view and then click on a button called Slide Master. And what that does is this is now the backend template of what your presentation looks like. So you see here, if we look at these slides, each of them have a different type of a format. So generally, if you want to add a footer, right, or a date here, generally, if you can say, we want to say slides for IT careers for you, right? Once you update this and then close the master, it didn't show up. Sometimes this can be finicky. So go to review, master, and then generally what I like to do is I go to this one and I will delete this, and then I will go to insert. I'll do a text box down here. And I'll say slides for IT careers. I'm gonna click this, make sure my formatting is similar, change this to maybe 10 font to make sure that it looks okay. And then when I go to view and I go to normal, and it still didn't show up. Okay, hold on. View, master slide. So it's showing up there, but not anywhere else. Okay, let me play around with this. So slides for IT careers for you. And then I want on the title slide. Copy that. And then that's there, it's there. Okay, that should work. And it's not there again. Hold on, view, master slide. Let's play around with the footer. Header, footer. Let's see right here. Slides. Apply to all. So I see that it's showing up everywhere now. This should work. Okay. The other things that you can do in the master, so I'm going to close out the master slide. The other thing that you can do is when you go to view, sometimes you may need to have an outline for your presentations, so you can have an outline and figure out how to add things from an outline view. Sometimes you may need to, oops, let me exit out of that. Sometimes you may need to give your audience slides and then notes to take in those slides. So that's how you print this out this way. You may also need to do a handout slide. So that's what that would look like if you needed to hand it out. But let me go back and see why my footer is still not showing up. Oh, there it is. So it's showing up here. Okay. So now let's go back. Some of the other things I wanted to show you guys, view, normal. Some of the other things I wanted to show you guys, in addition to the colors and fonts, is something called smart art, right? This is a way, generally, as we know, it is better for us to see things in pictures than it is for us to see text, right? So there is a really cool feature in here. Let me show you how to start this all over again. So the way that you go and add this is you can go to insert and you can go to smart art, and there's a lot of these options that you can select to show a picture view of the content that you're trying to showcase. So if it's, these are all the shapes that are out there that'll help you make your presentations look a little bit nicer, right? You can, if you're trying to list things, you can select some of these items. If you're trying to talk about a process, you can select these. If it's a cycle, this one, hierarchy, this one, relationship. So you get the gist, right? There's different things that you can use, and I'll show you how to use that. So let's say if I want to create a process, what I generally had, and I'm sure in presentations you may have seen these chevrons, right? And this is how they're created. So if you click on OK, I will create something like this. So I will say first step, and then I'll go to second step, and then I'll go to third. Okay, so this is how to create those chevrons. But when you create them, there's a lot of cool things that you can do with them. So there's different, again, when you have a smart art, you'll have a new tab that appears called Smart Art Design and then Format. So you can create what the content looks like a little bit better. So here's some of the things that are possible. So you see, if I click on this, now it looks like a nice bulky chevron. If you have a fourth step, you can do add to this. So you can add to this, you can change the way that your chevrons look this way. And then you can also change the colors, right? So these are the primary colors. This is how you can change this, but let me show you one other cool thing. Let's say if I now decide to change my design to something like this, what it's going to do is it's going to pick up colors from that design and change all of your chevrons to be aligned to the theme that you selected. So let's say if we go with this one, if we go with this one, again, you see how the colors now change to align to the template that we have selected, right? Again, if we select this template, the colors now are aligned to that, okay? So let me go back to this, and let me show you a few more things. You can change colors, right? you can keep it the same. So it all kind of depends on the kind of look and feel that you're going for with your presentation, but this is definitely an option for you. You can have something like this. You can even change it to this. So you can click on the layouts and have different ways of showcasing your pictures based on what is available to you in this Smart Art tool. Here's another way of showcasing the same thing. Like I always say, it's a lot better to showcase with pictures than it is for you to, write these things out. So I try to use these techniques as much as I can to make sure that my slides look a little bit more presentable. So again, you can play around with the variation of colors, design templates, and then also this Smart Art tool that's available, and you can get that through Insert. Smart Art is here as an icon, and you can click on that and play around with what this looks like. I noticed that the headers, the footers didn't show up again, so let me see why that's not working. So go to master, slide master. It is showing up here, so maybe it's the color and that's why it's not showing up. Okay, so the page numbers are showing up right here. If all else fails, you guys, generally that technique works. If that doesn't work for you, you can always just do a text box here and do slides for IT careers. Make this 10. But let me see if I insert a new slide, will it show up? Okay, so it is showing up. It's down here. It's in white, and that's why we're not able to see it. So the way that you add new slides with your same template, you go to Insert and then Insert. Where did it go? Insert new slide right here. If you click on the down arrow, you have the option to selecting what type of slides you want. So if you click on this, this is the type that you get. So you see here, the footer is showing up. It's just not where I want it to be. You can play around with that. So you go to Insert new slide, depending on what you want. Let me make the design a little bit darker so it's easier to see, right? Okay. Here's where we were. So you go to Insert new slide, and depending on what it is that you want, what type of slide you want, depending on the type of slide you want, you can like if it's a title and content, you can select that, and you see how slides for IT careers for you is showing up here. All right. I think that's the end of this presentation. Let me know if you have any more questions or would like me to talk about any other topics for upcoming sessions. Put them in the comments, and I will get back to you on those items. Okay. I hope you found this helpful. Again, the goal of these series is to help you create professional looking documents. Anything that will help you stand out from the crowd and anything that will help you do better in your role are the topics that I want to cover for you. So let me know what it is that you'd like me to cover in the upcoming sessions. I do try to do live sessions every Sunday. So we're always looking for topics to talk about. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for all the love that you've shown us in our Facebook group and YouTube channel. We're here for you. Let us know how we can help you succeed in your career and in your career aspirations. With that, I'll talk to you guys. I'll catch you guys next Sunday. I'll see you later. Bye.